It's pretty easy to take care of a plant, but there's also a lot of satisfaction in successfully nurturing a single seed to maturity. Hello, I'm Scott Foster, and welcome to Rain Country. On a much more complex level, a different kind of nurturing has been taking place at Perseverance Theater in Douglas since 1979. From the first seed of an idea of actually building a theater in Alaska, to the nursing of the first productions, to the maturity that has resulted in respect for both the theater and its artistic director founder, who was recognized nationally in 1985 by Esquire magazine as one of just 17 honorees for its Register of the Arts. Through vision and force of personality, this creative Southeast Alaska resident has made her dream come true.
I know, you're up, but it still is going to have to be out further and in front of George's face, right?
Mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake.
I was extremely lucky in my life to have made a decision when I was 19 to start a theater in Alaska and to actually be able to fulfill that. And that was in the middle of going for that pre-law degree that I don't think I ultimately really wanted in the first place. And it was in the middle of, I think, a criminal law class where I just thought, I'm not into this. There's something very wrong. And so I took off then for Europe for 3 months. And during that time, I realized that what I really wanted to do was to start a theater in Alaska. And once that happened, it was like a white spot, you know, that I could just keep driving toward once the goal was there and firmly in mind. And that's what I did. I went back to the East Coast. I think that I had always loved theater. And as a kid, I was in teen theater, and I was always the kid with the big booming voice who would read the Gospels. And I used to get the story crown. So if you were the best reader in class, you'd get to wear a crown home, and then my mother would give me ice cream. And about midway through the first grade, I made my own crown and wore it home every day till I finally got caught. So already there was a desire for the imagination.
Holding no laws.
Okay, so on your way down that thing. So we're gonna have to get pretty present and harsh at this point because we've got a lot going on over here, and I want to keep the focus on you too.
I think that my role in the theater is as a conduit to the community that we serve. Part of what I really need to do is to be able to sense what the needs of the community are, even if maybe the community doesn't yet know that. I really think that any kind of artist needs to be very sensitive to the world, since that's a big part of our purpose, is to put a light on our corner of the world, to illuminate in one form or another so that people are able to see something that's happening. I think we're dying for superstitions or myths or traditions anyway, whether we're in the theater or whether we're in everyday life. We're really looking for that. Because I think we need to find meaning, and we need to figure out the way in which the world is. We want ideas to hang on to. We want traditions to hang on to.
Back there?
I think that's
Roy's got them back there. They're big.
one major element
They're big,
which
they're big,
theater can
they're-
provide, which is the telling of the stories, whatever the stories are. Whether they're stories that people would hear in pure gold, which are stories about the past, Juneau's past, which is a history, something that people feel as if they understand now where they came from, or where the people from Alaska came from, or whether it's a production like The Tempest, which is a retelling of the story of a magician who gets retribution. I think those kinds of stories, they really do provide a huge service, emotional service for us in the audience. Theater is very civilizing. You have to sit for 2 hours and listen to someone else talk and think. So I think stories are very important because they help with ongoing traditions and understanding of other races, other religions. You have the potential to be able to celebrate people's differences instead of feeling as if it's something that you want to shut yourself off from. I think I'm good with communication. I think I'm good with communicating with actors and designers. And I think that when you're directing, it's always in a leadership position, and people look to you for that kind of leadership. But you can't really lead by pulling or jerking or whipping, or you lead through influence. Influence has to do with trust. It has to do with
the southwest blow on you and blister you all
making the work safe and volatile at the same time, so that the workspace and the production itself is something that ultimately is a piece which everybody can drop into and explore, and at the same time is explosive. So there's a kind of dynamic quality about that. I try and create a rehearsal space where people feel really comfortable about taking risks, where they want to take risks. I think the actors in Alaska have a quality that a lot of other actors don't have, and that is go for it quality. I'll try it. I'll do anything. Actors here would slam dance against the wall if you wanted them to. They're ready to try out any idea. They're very open that way. And that's terrific, because that means that anything that you would want to try from a conceptual point of view, people will be willing to risk that and be pretty fearless about it. And I think that's part of an Alaskan spirit, which is uniquely our own. Your lines. Those are Bulgarian. I know, but that's the problem. You're just running them. Do you know what I mean? You have to listen to what people are saying. That's what's happening. No further danger, and direct the monster one word further. It's much more important for an actor, for any creative being, to make the discovery themselves. That's why a lot of the process that I use is a questioning process. It is an interviewing process, because I do believe that everybody has oceans inside of them. We've got lots of stuff in terms of, I don't know if I believe that we have that from birth, but I think we certainly have it at an early age where we know a lot. And if, as a director, I'm able to tap into that unconscious, conscious, subconscious, how fabulous. And a way to tap in is through questioning people.
Now, what is this saying?
I can't work with people without there being great moments of frustration and anger and peevishness and childishness. That's healthy. If everything is smooth the entire time, one will have the most boring, smooth production you have ever seen, because there has never been any push within it. And so it's very important to look at that in terms of a production and to not be afraid of it. They're just emotion. It's just feelings. And feelings, it's terrific to have instead of repressing them.